Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle one of the most useful and sometimes confusing tenses in English, the past perfect. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down in a super simple, easy-to-follow way so you can start using it with total confidence. You know that feeling when you're telling a story and you get kind of tangled up trying to explain the order of events? You're trying to make it clear that this thing happened before that thing? Well, that exact problem is what the past perfect tense was literally designed to solve. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the main idea, what I call the past before the past. Then we'll look at the simple formula, figure out when to use it, and, this is a big one, clarify the key difference with the simple past. After that, we'll see it in a real story, and finally, it'll be your turn to practice. Let's do this. First things first, let's get right to the heart of it. What is the past perfect really all about? So here's the most important thing to get. The past perfect isn't just about something that happened in the past. It's a relational tense. Its whole job is to connect two past events, showing a clear timeline between an earlier past action and a later past action. If you only remember one thing today, make it this golden rule. Past before past. It's that simple. The past perfect tense is always for the action that happened further back in time. It's literally the past before the past. This timeline is the perfect way to visualize it. Check it out. Right now, in the present, I'm telling you a story. In my story, two things happened in the past. I arrived at the station and the train left. So which one happened first? The train leaving, right? That's our earlier past, so we use the past perfect. The train had left. My arrival happened after that, so that's the later past, and it gets the simple past. I arrived. See how that works? All right, let's move on to how you actually build this thing. The good news is the structure for the past perfect is incredibly simple and consistent. It never changes. It's a basic three-step recipe. You take your subject, could be I, you, she, they, doesn't matter. You add the magic word had, and then you add the past participle. You know, the V3 form of your main verb. For instance, she had finished. The best part is it's had for every subject, which makes it so easy. Now to make it negative, it's even easier. You just squeeze the word not right after had. So had finished becomes had not finished, or as you'll usually hear it, hadn't finished. Like in the example, I hadn't seen that movie before. And if you want to ask a question, just flip the subject and had. So instead of saying you had visited, you ask, had you visited? Simple as that. Okay, we've got the what and the how down. But when do we actually need to use this tense? Let's zoom in on the three most common situations you'll run into. So the three biggies are showing one action happened before another, talking about your experiences leading up to a certain point in the past, and showing a clear cause and effect link between two past events. Let's look at a quick example for each one. Here's our classic example again. This is use case number 1. The arriving and the leaving are both in the past. But since the train leaving happened first, it gets the past perfect treatment. The train had left. Now, this one is really interesting because it's about experience. The specific point in the past here is 2010. We're talking about the experience or, lack of it in all the time before that moment. So I had never seen the ocean before 2010. And this is a perfect example of cause and effect. Why did he fail the exam? Well, it's because of something that happened or didn't happen earlier. The cause was he hadn't studied. The effect was he failed. The past perfect just makes that connection crystal clear. Okay, this is a really common sticking point for a lot of people, so let's take a second to really lock in the crucial difference between the simple past and the past perfect. Just look at this side by side. The simple past on the left, that's for a single completed action in the past. She left the office at 6. Boom, done. But on the right, the past perfect adds a whole other layer of time. She had left the office before it started raining. Now we have two past events, her leaving and the rain starting. Her leaving happened first, so it gets the past perfect. Theory's one thing, but seeing how this all flows together in an actual story is where it really starts to click. So let's take a look at a really short narrative. All right, check out the story. When I reached the platform, the train had already left. See? The leaving happened before the reaching. I was disappointed because I had planned to meet my friend. The planning? That happened even before I went to the station. The past perfect is the tool that organizes this whole timeline for the person listening. So let's break that down real quick. The earlier actions, the past before the past, are in the past perfect, had left and had planned. The later actions, the ones that kind of move the story forward, are in the simple past, reached and was disappointed. This is exactly how you create that depth and clarity when you're telling a story. Awesome, you've seen the theory, you've seen it in action. Now it's time to put that knowledge to the test yourself and really make it stick.
But wait, before we do the quiz, a quick heads up on two super common mistakes. First, you always use the past particle, or V3, after had. It's had gone, never had went. Second, if there's only one past action in your sentence, just use the simple past. I saw that movie yesterday. You don't need the past perfect thereabout.
All right, here we go. 3 sentences. Take a moment, feel free to pause, and for each one, just ask yourself, which action happened first? Which one is the past before the past? And here are the answers. Number 1 is had started, because, of course, the movie began before I arrived. For number 2, it's had lost. Losing the phone was the earlier action that caused her to be sad. And for number 3, it's had eaten, because they finished dinner before we walked in the door. How'd you do? The key every single time is just asking which action came first. Once you get that, you've totally mastered the past perfect. Great work today!